Missing on Seven Sisters by Oluwafemi Hughes. Part 1. The Migrant's Lamp. On Seven Sisters' green curves I lie, cliffs and I looking out to sea. Sunlit sky dazzles, squinting my eye. Chalk face glistens, mirrored on quiet waters blue, as air drifts by, winter cool. In her murmuring, I hear a tinge of mourning, wind echoing the spirit of someone I miss. Can it be an Orisha's long song beckoning? East Sussex to her coast cleaves, waves curling and unfurling on distant ports. Yet seas separate flesh and bone as in 1944. With British college education, his French, English and Yoruba languages in tow, my father boarded a merchant ship, set sail from Lagos, skirting Takoradi and Freetown's coastal lip. The wide ocean's wave and whiff of salty seaweed slowly seeped in beneath his skin. Moulded by a story painted red, white and blue, Baba embarked on a journey from his Lagos island home, resolved to defend the colonial mother's shores. The older man giggled a lot, his shoulders jumping in rhythm. He often quipped, "So neglectful a mother was she. She never invited me for tea." Behind a migrant's smiling face, the sorrowed brow of a stranger, gathering from crumbs of life. Yet among weeds, sown seeds of fellowship, for his jokes invoked an inner lamp, a lighthouse in a place of strife. Peace and tranquility was his affirmed desire, while he gave way to time. On the green-haired back of Seven Sisters I walk, roar of rolling tide battering the cliff chalk. Her worn face slides into the wide, salty mouth. I see my father as Shango facing the fierce tides. Just as this god of thunder, Baba persisted, endured when his passport annulled gave no permission to go and return. A migrant till he died, aged 79. For no vessel was marked the citizenship, not one to grace a Yoruba mother's final ceremonial passage. As tides turned and autumn leaves began to fall, as if to grant his calling, Bramber Road in Peacehaven became his final abode. Here, tea was served with kind eyes from tender hands. His last road swept down to the sea and to the Meridian Line monument, connecting these shores to West African ports and Olokun. At last, his heart a harbour of tranquility, in companionship with the wide ocean. On Seven Sisters cliffs, I gaze out to the steel line of the horizon, dazzled by sunlit silver sea. In ever-changing hues, air hums by, winter cool. I honour my father's survival by his lamp, his inner lighthouse by the sea that cleaves to this chalk and bone, this shore sand, and beyond to his ancestral land. Part 2. A mother emerges. With Seven Sisters I lie on her earth mother's body. A long song I hear carried on the wind's breath. fleeting presence, someone I miss who once missed me. I am Irene Sudarshana, a dancer from Bombay. I turned my dancing spirit through Europe until the hour of Germany's 1939. Part of a cast of characters bound to leave by road, bus and boat. On Britain's grey coast, I shivered in chiffon clothes, a magenta sari trimmed with threads of gold. Then I had wings. How could anyone have known how besieged we'd be by the war years in ammunition factories? Around us, the bloodied and broken limbs of the fallen. In the post-war years, our family threads wore thin. Marriage of Asia to Africa. My offspring, too, was forbidden, they said. Soon pearls of youth tarnished, treasured gold rings sold for pennies. At times we felt angels walked with us, till threadbare our ties broke away. Dear Irene, I'm told you found love among ruins, flowered in the first years. They say you fought with steel, bore a mischievous grin, and would sing, mimicking Dietrich, falling in love again. Yet the hurricanes of migration swept away petals, severed stems of kinship. As shuttered windows you faced, walls and doors yelled, "Go!" chafing at brown skin. Your Indian dancer's spirit dimmed. Your floor finally caved in. As wild winds hurled your children to bearers of the cross, a sacrifice for love, the Black Book said. Yet the hands that held up the sacred also clipped budding wings, separated brothers and sisters, and smothered 1,000 kisses. How can a migrant, after 200 years of British colonial reign, be left to flounder without safe harbour, commonwealth, or a course on Britain's shores? The poet said it was because the gemstone of empire had grown cold. The story told of India's peasant rice farmers, of cotton weavers, pockets drained of trillions of dollars. Pot-bellied bandits disguised in upturned moustaches and tall hats, poured wine in horse-drawn carriages, in rickshaws. British traders, cities, drunk with the spoils of conquest. I barely grasped what came to pass. I only know my mother Irene, her magenta sari billowed in a frame, aged 23. Was the absence of her footprints felt, even for a moment, in the snowy northern belt, where we children were sent? No, Irene drifted as a feather in the wind. My heart froze, and she was gone. A murmuring air drifts, tinged with mourning. Grasses ripple as waves conducting a long song. A knotted hawthorn tree I feel, wind-bent, forlorn. Yet, as I rise to leave these siblings and Earth Mother, catching my eye, a magenta kite in a fierce dance. Oh, sisters, is this some kind of trickster?
Thanks for listening. To hear more of our stories in this We Hear You Now series, and to download a map and guide, visit the Seven Sisters Country Park website.